when you have infinite freedom, that is not good for creativity. I think really when you have a regulation, and it doesn't matter what kind of regulation, if it's financial or if it's creative, regulation can be very good for the creative process. So we had like 200 euros. We said, okay, let's make a film for 200 euros, but it has to be some kind of cool film, you know? It should be something cool. And it should be something we know what we talk about. Yesterday there was Fatih Akın in Hamburg. He was having a lecture. And he said that when you make your art, you should know what you talk about. You should know what you're dealing with. And what did I do? I said, okay, what is like my biggest opponent in this life? I'm going to make a film about my father. So I said, you know what, Pops? Let's make a film together. I think you can be a good actor. And he has kind of this charismatic face, you know, like he looks a little like Omar Sharif. And I said, you know what, Pops? Let's do this. And you won't believe it. He said, okay, no man, doesn't matter. As long as I can watch my TV series in the evening, it's okay. Let's do this. And we made a film with him, and this film was so successful. It was just like we shot it at home, no music. It was like these art house films you can see at film festivals, you know. And we didn't have any money. We took a DV camera and we shot this, and it was like great. Really, it was great. And also to see my father like come into the work of my work and help me. And when we went to our first premiere, it was in Hof. It's a small city in Germany, but it's a very important festival. There was this guy, this film critic. He saw our film in the movie theater, and then he said he published this film critic published the 10 best actors of the year. And my father was in this list together with Robert De Niro. I swear. In this project, I really just wanted to do whatever I really liked in that moment. Because sometimes, you know, you have ideas, and you are afraid of your own ideas, and that's not good. That's really not good. You have to follow and not judge your own ideas, I think. An important thing for a director or a person who has to be in charge. I think this is a very important thing. If you can say somebody is doing something better than I am, then that's a very strong thing to do. I think there is people who can write better stories than I can. And there is editors who can edit movies better than I am. And this school was like the first step where I was like, okay, I don't have to control everything. You know, that's a mistake I was doing before. I have to write it myself because like only the author filmmakers are the good ones. Bullshit. I have to edit my films myself because no editor can have my vision. Bullshit. All these kind of things. I have to make my own cinematography. Bullshit. There are better guys who can do it better. And slowly I began to see that being a director is actually being a good filter, you know? You are a filter of, like when you gather good people around yourself, you can just the ideas come, and you are like, okay, this idea I take, this idea, okay, no, thank you. This idea I take. And this is how I like to work now. It saves me energy, and it makes also other people's creativity come together in this process. I know it's part of the business, and now in my new project I'm having, like I have to do castings, but in this film I was like, you know what, no, we can't do it with castings. So what we did was, I met all the actors in a cafe. And there was this one really famous lady, she's big in Turkey. And I sat down with her and she said, yeah, you know what, I like your project and I'd like to be in part of it. And then I saw her cell phone. And the screensaver of her cell phone was herself posing. In that moment I thought, I won't work with this one. Really, because I know this kind. Like before you say action, she goes and makes some more sense. You know, it's like these kind of little details I try and find out in this kind of coffee situation.